If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, you can tell me that you hate my videos, but the best way to do that is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, the Weeknd clears up his statements about Usher, and 6ix9ine calls himself a rat. Chainz says he's better than Pusha T, Kanye West, and Big Sean, and Diddy decides to hold a town hall meeting about coronavirus. Let's talk hip-hop. Alright, so The Weeknd recently did an interview because his album was #1 in the country, and right now he's going hard, right? Which is all cool and dope, and I love The Weeknd's music, right? But they asked him about Usher, I guess, and a song that Usher has called Climax, right? So anyway, The Weeknd says that Usher's song, Climax, which came out in 2012, initially made him angry because he thought it sounded too much like him, right? So he says, I heard Climax and I was like, holy fuck, that's The Weeknd song, right? I knew I was doing something right, but also I got angry, right? Which is crazy because Climax is actually one of my favorite Usher songs, period, right? And I also love The Weeknd's music, and I feel like I have a pretty good ear, and never in my life ever would I listen to Climax and think of The Weeknd, or this sounds like a Weeknd song, or I can hear The Weeknd singing this song. Quite often do I hear music and I hear I don't know, a Neo song, and I'm like, you know what? I could hear Chris Brown singing this, right? Or I hear a Diddy song and I'm like, you know what? I can hear Rick Ross on this beat, right? Because Rick Ross might have gave the beat to Diddy, or Rick Ross might have wrote something for Diddy, or I don't know, Neo might have wrote the song originally for Chris Brown but then decided to do it himself, right? You can tell when a song is by one artist but sounds like it could be for another artist, right? Climax ain't that, right? So for my whole life that I've listened to Climax, not my whole life, it came out in 2012, but ever since it came out, me listening to Climax does not remind me anything of The Weeknd's music, period, point blank, right? I hear you, Weeknd, right? But that is not your style, and I don't see you doing a song like that, right? If anything, Climax reminds me of Love in the Club, which is another Usher song, right, with Jeezy. So if anything, Usher was right on par with his sound, his own music at that point in time, right? The Weeknd has great music. He's also a trailblazer. He's also an innovator. He also, comes out with dope-ass projects. The Trilogy was one of my favorite projects, period, in life, and it also happens to be from The Weeknd, right? But nothing there or in any of his music makes me think of Climax by Usher at all, right? So, I don't know, man. The Weeknd is bugging out, but of course, the internet said, what the fuck you talking about, Weeknd? And actually, he came back and cleared up his statement. So, he said, of course, the media blows things out of proportion and takes things out of context. Usher is king and will always be an inspiration. So it was flattering to hear what him and Diplo did on Climax, XO, right? Basically saying yo, please don't look at it like I'm trying to diss Usher or saying that he's biting me. I respect him. He is that dude. Diplo, he is that dude, right? They killed Climax, but I'm just saying that it kind of made me angry because it sounds like my song, right? What planet The Weeknd is on right now, I don't know, because Climax don't sound like a Weeknd song at all. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. So I don't want to sit up here and tell you every little thing that 6ix9ine is doing until he drops some music or officially says something on the internet. But he said something else, right? And so every little thing 6ix9ine is doing, everybody's talking about it. So this is gonna, I'm trying to wait until 6ix9ine does something for real. But he did a little something, right? So he goes on his Instagram, he puts up this picture of him, this is a cartoon of him. Y'all know he has mad cartoons of himself doing different weird stuff. And so this is more of the same, where he's just laying on a mousetrap and eating cheese, right? So it's funny as hell because he's making fun of himself and calling himself a snitch, right? And he's kind of trolling, I guess, the whole world and the whole internet by just kind of leaning into this whole snitch or, situation, right? And I guess through his music, he'll come out and he'll probably talk about it and what happened, but we all already know what happened, right? So we really don't need him to tell us, but I guess from his perspective, it would be interesting to see what he has to say, right? Also, he changed his bio and it just says, why everybody calling me a snitch? I'm missing something? And then, the thinking emoji, right? Basically saying what? Am I missing something? Like, what happened, right? But obviously he knows that he was on stand like, those the niggas that robbed me. They robbed me. Those niggas right there. So we all know why the fuck, you know, whatever, right? It's 6ix9ine. He's a troll. He's still trolling. He's not allowed. He's on probation for the next 5 years, so he's not allowed to troll on the internet in a sense of beefing with people. So he's not going to make a video telling like YG to suck his dick or anything like that. But he can troll in the sense that, you know, if he's just making fun of like his own self, then, you know, he's not harming anybody, right? But anyway, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Alright, yo, this one is like a dope ass hip hop debate, right? Because y'all know Mercy, I think it dropped in 2012. Lamborghini Mercy, yo chick, she so thirsty. I'm in that 2C Lambo with your girl, she trying to jerk me. Y'all know the song, right? It has Kanye West in it, Pusha T, Big Sean, and 2 Chainz, right? So somebody like went on Twitter or Instagram and they were like, yo, everyone bodied this track, but who had the best verse, right? And 2 Chainz posted this up on his Instagram and he's like, no disrespect, but I kill all them boys, right? So like, let's talk about it, because this song is probably one of my favorite songs ever in life, and I listen to this shit all the time, even though it came out like in 2012, right? It's 2020 and I'm still listening to Mercy like it's that new shit, right? Like it's 2C Slide by Drake or something, right? So anyway, this song is fire. All right, so first of all, I thought about it, and I'm thinking like, who had the best verse on it? And I guess I kind of would have to agree and say 2 Chainz, right? So the whole situation is, I guess if I had to rank the verses on here, I would say that, you know, 2 Chainz had the best verse, right? But the worst verse to me, and I'm still not saying it's trash because it's not trash, but the worst verse to me was Pusha T, right? He was talking about, ugh, my red leather, my drop top, my pimp game, ho, right? Which is fire, but you know, it was cool. And it was just like, you know, more Pusha T, right? Then the second, I guess like, so that would be the worst. Then the next one would be Kanye West's verse, which is dope, right? He said, throw the suicide doors up. I threw suicides on the tour bus. I threw suicides on the private jet. I guess that means I'm fly to death. I step in Jeff Jam building like I'm the shit. I told him, give me 50 million and I'ma quit. You know what I'm saying? So he did murder that. I'm talking about Kanye, right? But Big Sean even bodied Kanye, right? Big Sean murdered his whole entire verse, and Big Sean killed it. And the thing about, I don't know, man, maybe I would say that Kanye West and Big Sean are very similar to each other in the fact that Big Sean and Kanye West's verse were both fire, but I just like Big Sean's verse better because on Kanye's verse, he switched up the beat a little bit, and he was like, you know, weird, and it was like a build-up, and we was waiting for like the beat to drop again when 2 Chainz came on, and I really didn't like that. If Kanye West just left his beat regular, I would say that Kanye's verse is better than Big Sean, right? But 2 Chainz verse was fire, right? Coupe the color of champagne, I'm drunk and high at the same time, drinking champagne on an airplane. You know, spit rounds like gun range, beat it up like Rampage. Yo, like 2 Chainz murdered that shit, right? And a lot of, I guess like maybe a couple years ago, people were like fronting on 2 Chainz about like how dope or how lyrical he really is because he's from the South. But I think now, today, people know and do give 2 Chainz his flowers and be like, this nigga is a kind of a punchline king, right? And his flow is dope, and he be saying shit, right? And even though he's from Atlanta, I feel like a lot of niggas, especially like from New York and the East Coast, like Philly area, like really respect 2 Chainz as a lyricist, right? And so I would definitely have to agree with him that he murdered all them niggas on the song, even though the song is fire, the beat is fire, the hook is fire, every verse is fire. I'm not shitting on Pusha T because his shit was fire too. It's just that his shit was also the worst verse on the song. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
Forgive us, God, and bless us through this situation. Bless our healthcare workers in the front lines. Bless our elderly. Bless people all over the world. It's not just a wherever you at thing. It's happening all over the world. Bless everybody. And please forgive us. Because when you forgive us, you would have sent the cure, or it would have been through your way, and we would have learned. We would have learned the lesson. So God, please come to the rescue.
Alright, so that was Diddy on Instagram, basically like giving us a prayer and talking to God or his God about, the coronavirus. So the whole situation is that Diddy actually tonight at I think like 11 p.m. on Revolt TV, which is Diddy's channel, he's hosting like a town hall meeting with like Killer Mike and Angela Rye and just like a lot of other, people in hip hop talking about like coronavirus. So it's going to be called State of Emergency, the state of Black America and coronavirus, right? It's going to have, like I said, Killer Mike, Angela Rye, Meek Mill is going to be there, Big Sean, Al Sharpton, Kamala Harris, Van Jones, a few people, right? And basically it's going to be like an open conversation about coronavirus and I guess its effect on, I guess, the black community or its effect on hip hop. But I think it's more like its effect on the black community, right? Just information from our people for our people, which is just all kind of crazy, man. And it's just weird to see like how people are dealing with this, digesting this, how people are reacting to it. Some people still don't care. Some people are taking it super serious. Some people are like, if I get it, I get it. Some people are like, the shit is fake. Some people are like, it's a conspiracy and it's from 5G. Other people are like, it's from China, and it's people eating bats. It's just like all kind of craziness, right? But one thing that we do know is that people are getting sick and straight up dying, right? So who the fuck knows what's really going on? But they, telling us to keep our ass in the house. But let me know what y'all think about this. Everything else in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me at Johnny Fastlane on Instagram, and y'all already know what to do. Peace.